Hey Scorpio, how is your day going? This is Lesley Ormsby. Kia ora koutou katoa. Welcome to my YouTube channel, Scorpio. And I just want to say thank you to all of you who have subscribed to my channel. And to those of you who haven't, I'm going to invite you to do that now, or at the end of the video. But now will be good while I remember, and while you remember. And now that I've said that, so don't need to be pushy or anything, but or mean to be. And also, I just want to say thank you to those of you who have also followed and liked my Facebook page as well. So thank you for doing that. And once again, if you haven't done that, please either follow or do both. Follow and like me on my and or subscribe to my channel. Cool. Excuse me, I'm not in the ends of a head cold that's coming through. I'm coming through that, and I've just got this tickle in my throat now. A little bit of with a bit of a cough, and it doesn't help that I've got sage burning at the moment. So excuse me if I end up clearing my throat. So I've got a lozenge in my mouth at the moment to hopefully combat some of that. Where I don't have to clear my throat as often. I'm fine. Just sometimes when I'm processing, I will develop the signs and the symptoms of a cold. And I actually did, you know how when you're processing, that you can, it's like all it takes is one action, and sometimes it like really tip it over the scales. But on saying that, I felt it coming. So with this processing that I've been working through, the stuff that I've been working through, but and like on saying that too, I did go to a rugby game on Saturday to watch my son play, and what started off to be really nice weather, however, it did turn a little bit icy cold near the end of the game in the last 20 minutes, and it's like, whoa, and I didn't have my beanie with me, so hence, you know, it tipped the scales a little bit more towards me actually eventually. I turned that cold eventuating, and I was already quite tired from a very busy workload, and not only that, but with other things that were going on in my life, with some whānau being really super unwell and passing away as well. So there's been a lot going on, and it was all part of my processing, basically. So there may be, for some of yous, Scorpio, a lot going on, or in a similar sort of fashion, and you may be feeling like you're a little bit run down and doing the best that you can to keep your energy levels up higher, and so as much as you can, and your dietary intake may have slipped a little bit, but just keep doing the best that you can, and you will get through it. So I do feel like some of you may be going through a similar sort of a thing, and that's all cool. It's all part of growth. But and just remember, even though I've said what I've said, that often when I'm processing, I will display some symptoms of flu-like symptoms or cold-like symptoms. It's please, if you don't feel that is you, then go see a doctor, okay? I'm not a physician. It's just something I do. And of course, if I feel that I need to go to the doctor, then I will go to a doctor. Absolutely. But for me, my first protocol is to, if I don't feel like I need to go, I will use lots of natural type remedies, and then and then go through the process, wait it out, do as best I can to eat better, eat well, and listen to what my body wants to do. Sometimes it's going out in the fresh air, just to get a bit of fresh air and go for a bit of a walk as well. Today is a really nice day here in Ngāruahi, here in the Waikato in New Zealand, so the sun is out. So once I've finished doing these readings, I'm going to gap it while these are uploading, really, and for me to getting them ready, and then I'm going to go and take the dogs for a walk. So it could be something like that for you. Okay, anyway. So, as I was shuffling there and talking, the Sacred Earth deck, Oracle deck is what I'm going to be using today. So I'll pull that back a bit. As well as my trusty tarot cards with some messages coming through. And also the angels have popped in today and, or this week, and, saying that they want to have a few words as well. So I have my Archangel Raphael and Archangel Michael deck and the collective angel deck there that we have been working on together. Cool. Just a reminder that these reads, they are general, the messages that come through, so they may or may not resonate with you. If they don't, that's fine. If they do, that's fine too. That's wonderful. But just remember that if they don't, it could be more of a forecast for you that's still to play out. Some of you that may be playing out right now. And excuse me. And also throughout the month. There may be another cycle of whatever's going on for you. Okay, so anyway, the other thing is these reads are suitable for those of you who are watching for the sign of Scorpio, whether it's your sun, moon, rising, or Venus sign. If you don't know what your other signs are, there is a link in the description box below that will take you to a website that has a link in it. There's a link in the description box below that will take you to a website. Gosh, excuse me. That has has a calculator there, and it's free, and it'll work it out for you. The other thing is that I am available for reads when you, if you're wanting something more specific to you, and or healing sessions, and or like mentoring sort of shifting sort of sessions as well, shifting your energy or your mindset or something like that. Those sorts of sessions I have available as well. So, and my contact details are in the description box below. So there's some, you might have noticed my energy like being quite I want to say placid. So there may be a placid side of you coming out, or a more calm side coming out of you at the moment. So you may go into it, or into this month of August, having been through, a few ups and downs emotionally in this last month or 2 or 3, sometimes 6 months, maybe 6 years even. But it's like, obviously, there's something moving, shifting anyway, that has come up from like 6 years ago for some of you, possibly even 10 to 16 for others of you. Pardon me. So we're going to start off with the Sacred Earth Oracle cards, and this one here is a beautiful, this one here, the word on there is influence, and then if I bring it up really close, excuse that light, you can see the moon cycle. Excuse me, the moon in the top bit there. I'm going to pull it back a bit. And its influence, and I just really drawn to remind everybody and to let you know about those of you who are not aware about the moon cycle and how the energy, when the moon shifts around, works around, and the cycle of the moon has a big influence, and can have a big influence. Actually, for myself, I say has a big influence on our energy levels, what is going on around us, and how our moods can shift from one place to another, and our emotions and things like that. So the moon cycle, so take that there has been a big influence on what has been going on for you, especially since you've been born, actually, but I feel like for a lot of us it's been more noticeable because most of us are more aware of it nowadays than ever before, especially for a lot of people in this last year or two. But for myself, I've been aware of it for quite some time, and how it helps us to move or shift. And when we start to things in our lives, and when we start to understand that pattern of of how the moon, and start to understand how the moon's influence can help us as we're working through different phases of our lives, with what comes up with us, and like in for businesses, and you know, well, just in general life, or planting even, how it can help us to have a better crop, basically. So if you're talking about planting, and you know, if you look at it in the bigger context to do with our business, with our lives, with when we're buying things, you know, when we're selling things, whether it be for business or personal or whatever. When we go fishing, we're going to be mindful about not just the weather, but that too, but also the moon cycle, when the fish are out, blah, blah, blah. There's just so much to go on. So, and look, and just so there's just being mindful about what influences are around you, and also about how your influence can be on others. Okay, is where that card's coming from. Okay, so, excuse me. So there's something about patterns as well, which can, you know, you'll start to see some patterns, not only from the past, but also in the now, but also developing, and how you can use those moon influence, the influence of the energy, into, you know, the seeing and developing patterns for yourself, which is like, you know, when you're in a good mood, you know, you can almost guarantee that there's something, the moon is in a certain place, or other planets have aligned up that that are helping there as well. But not only that, it's about me being mindful about what it's taking some responsibility for yourself, like mentally and emotionally, like mind-wise, keeping control of your mind, being, and you know, knowing what is your stuff and what is not your stuff. So it's not just all about that. There's a whole big package, because there's patterns. What it will bring up are there patterns within you, the way you think, the way you do things, the way you know, react, the way you respond, and that sort of things, those sorts of things that come up. So there's that too. And then we have the card Unity. So I'm going to pull that quite close. So there's a lot of sun shining, and the sun is shifting, and I feel like that's quite, and I'm not going to shift the camera because I'm feeling like it's quite significant. You know, as the sun shifts around, it rises in the east, and as it rises, it moves around and sets into the west, like that of the sunflower. You know, the sunflower, when they're out in the season, they will, you know, go to sleep when the sun sets, and then rise when the sun rises as well, and goes in that cycle. So that's kind of where they're going with those patterns, that sort of thing. So you may be noticing some patterns within you, which with all this processing that's been going on. Okay. Oh, cool. Seven of Cups, daydream. So there's something there with the Seven of Cups. It may be that you, gosh, I'm not going to take all those. It's just too many daydreams here. So there may be, you do have a lot of daydreams there, or dreams that are out there, and it's maybe that you may be balking at them and not doing anything with it. So it's kind of like, what I'm hearing is like, because I'm looking at this person here dreaming to get off some of you maybe need to get off the park bench. Oh gosh, to get off the park bench and get moving and to create them. Only you can do it. So the 7 is like, you know, it's like taking, I feel like for this one is about taking action. But you may not have been taking action because of some of this, excuse me, because of some of the processing that you've been going through. So you've been sitting on the bench for a little bit, but I feel like the universe is now influencing you, or the moon cycle now influencing you to like get up and start moving it, you know, coming out of that, you're feeling, and your emotions of self-pity or something, or just like, you know, woe is me, that sort of thing, and like questioning things, like over-questioning things, or letting your emotions get in the way. But now it's about letting your emotions, turning those emotions into something of a drive force for you, to get you, to propel you forward, using them as your assertion for power, basically turning it around. There's also, and listening to your intuition, because you have a very good intuition, and to get that creativity going. So there's something about moving through that. Well, then we have the 10 of Swords and the Lovers as well coming through. So and shining some light on it. I'm going to move this way. So I want to put it in the light because it's something that's really bright as well. So there's something that's come to an end of a situation. There's an end of a situation that's come up that will allow these, you know, this to happen, you to do that. But it's like you've just got to skip out of that emotional stuff and not let that drive you, because there's the Lovers there as well. So it could have for some of you, it could be a love triangle situation that has been that emotional tipping point for you. That has come to an end. Or you need to make it come to an end and move through it, because when you do, there's interesting enough, this will start to happen, because it may be affecting your income. It could be affecting your finances or something like that. A gift or a financial opportunity comes through with the Ace of Pentacles. So will help you make, you know, see things in a slightly different way. Cool. It's to bring you outside of it. It's almost like I feel like there's a project or something that comes up and somebody says, hey, let's do this or let's do that, or come on, let's just snap us out of, or snap you out of this funny little space that you've gone into. Some of you, like I say, for a while, and some of you maybe not so long at all. And that's interesting, my throat, there may be a bit of resistance there, because my throat, I just wanted to cough then. I'm thinking, no, don't cough, Lesley. Don't cough, throat. Don't cough, body. So you may be like, so in saying that, you may be holding yourself off from it. So don't hold yourself off. For me, in this instance, I'm going to hold it off with my cough, and I'm going to cough like nothing probably after. But that's after. This is about you getting on with something, a project, or moving forward. So then we have, after that, the Six of Pentacles, which is generosity and charity. So there's something about giving and receiving, and allowing yourself to give and receive. And some of you may actually find yourself in a position that you're able to give and receive, give or receive, and the opposite way around. But it's also about it's just about knowing too. I'm hearing this thing about knowing that it's finding that balance. There's something about balance in there as well. For some of you, about how much you give and how much you receive. And maybe that you have in the past, you know, given more than what you've received. So it's about allowing others to give back to you. So there seems to be, like, some of you, then the Four of Swords has come up, because some of you may need to go into some sort of, or find yourself in some sort of cooperation, recuperation or convalescence space. So about listening to yourself and allowing yourself to go there to process whatever it is that is going on for you. And it may be that you have been really pushing yourself really hard on saying that, or been really hard on yourself, that you may have been feeling a little bit under the weather. So it's like take some time, or you may be feeling under the weather now, and you may need to, and this card is telling you to, like, do take some time out, look after yourself, keep yourself well. Even though you may get a cold like I have or something like that, it's like, it's not saying that you haven't looked after yourself well, because it's not always the case that you haven't. It's just like sometimes, with the change of the season, sometimes we, well, not purposely haven't anyway. Sometimes we get a bit busy, and so they're just saying to, like, weigh things up and not beat yourself up about it, okay? Because I feel like there's 2 or 3 things going on. And I do feel like, because underneath the swords, the 10 of swords and the lovers, it's like, there's a completion of a cycle of achievement there with the world card. Okay, so there's something coming out. I just feel like, with this next row of cards, it's like looking for that. It's like there's, as you're processing, as you're recuperating and rejuvenating and convalescing, you're starting to see that more now and pulling something together for yourself. And like, because I would, so like, get some paper out, write some of these thoughts and ideas down, because they're pretty amazing what is there and what might come through for you while you're in that stage, is like setting some new goals and that vision board and stuff like that. So holding on too tightly with the Four of Pentacles has come out for you. So there may be something about that. So maybe shutting doors. Sometimes we can hold on too tightly to our money. And, you know, it's sometimes, and it may be through, some of you may have been spending a little bit lavishly or impulsively. So you may be in that space, but it's like just being mindful about like, and which just means that you're having to hold on to a little bit tightly to money, but also some of you it may be to do with, you know, a situation in your work life, with your income, and that sort of thing. It's like, it's not trying not to hold on too tightly because you're starting to block. They're just talking about blocking the manifestation energy when we've put fear into it. So making sure that when you are holding on too tight with your money or holding on to pennies and thinking things like that, that it's for all, it's got the right energy behind it. When I say the right energy behind it, it's because, like, okay, I don't really need to spend my money on that. Or I shouldn't and I won't, but I can wait and that can come later. Rather than going, oh no, I won't buy that, and it's because I'm too broke now, or I haven't got what if something happens, what if that. So and they're kind of valid points to think about and look at, but it's like, don't bring the fear energy into it. So it's like, okay, so it's like shifting the way that you're thinking about that, shifting the energy in there, because you're going to block that manifestation, the magnetism you're going to magnetize more of that rather than, you know, opening, you know, expanding it in a beautiful, amazing way. So some of yous are like I say, just like counting your blessings with the holding on of the pennies, and that's really cool. So it's coming from that sort of way, frame of mind and thinking. But I'm just feeling like some of yous may be needing to open it up a bit to allow yourself to treat yourself as well, to do some different, you know, some things for you and or the family. Because interestingly enough, we have the last two cards, which is the Two of Pentacles, which is about juggling finances, you know, or juggling money. So there's some sort of change and versatility there that is maybe coming up for you next month, where you may find yourself in these two positions, like, you know, maybe holding on to your pennies a little bit more, and you may need to like juggle money around a bit, you know, there. But that's all right, because I do feel like sometimes we go through these cycles. That's what Spirit is saying. But there is something in the background, those ships, and this card, you know, denotes in the background there is abundance, there is prosperity, because there's like ships in the back in the day, you know, they were a sign of richness, you know, or a sign of, you know, prosperity, basically, or a sign of wealth. So there's something in the background that is there. So it's just for the moment. And, you know, sometimes we do need to juggle our money, whether we've got a lot of money or not. So it's like just being mindful about, you know, where your head is with that, okay? And then we have Page of Wands, a messenger bringing creative ideas. So that's, you know, he's coming in to help you to figure out this, you know, this, where you're at this juggling of money, okay, or finances, and things that are around that. So that's pretty awesome. So you will figure it out. Right, I'm just going to draw a couple of cards, shuffle a couple of cards. Oh, see what comes out. Oh gosh, there's a whole lot that come out, very slid out. So I'm going to take the ones that have fallen out and turned up. So go within to discover love. And I feel like it's not like love, just love romantically, but this is love, that love-based energy with yourself. And I'm hearing like 2 + 2 = 4, not 5. So stop overthinking some things, because that's going to manifest what you do not want rather than what you do want. Okay, so address that which holds you and back off. Okay, so address that which holds you. So you may need to back off with whatever that is, which is holding you back. And then this one here was actually, it fell out, but it didn't turn over. But okay, so some of you that maybe with this, you know, with things that are moving, is read more books, literature that interests you or not. Stimulate your brain and mind equals something new. Okay, so that's like, it's like some of you maybe at this phase, it's like where to next, or just bored, or wanting to do something different. So it's like one of those ways is like talking about is like knowledge is power. So you may be, you know, drawn to certain, you know, learning about something. So do that. Okay, awesome. So anyway, I'm going to leave it there for you, Scorpio, beautiful Scorpions. For this month, it sounds like you're going to, a lot of you are going to have a very busy month, or moving into a very busy month with processing and things like that. So it's pretty awesome. Lots of amazing growth. And I'm going to leave it there for you. And I'll see you next week with the weeklies. That will, I'm assuming, which will follow in or blend in with what's come up through here for you to help you move through this month. Okay. Anyway, God bless you. God protect you. My angels and guides send all that love that to you, but lots of love, peace, harmony, joy, and excitement, and adventure as well. Okay. Until next week. So it'll be next Wednesday. I'll see you. Bye for now.